Danielle Grant is starving.
I don't know. I'm trying to see if I can get some food. Because we literally don't have anything to eat today or tomorrow. So we're going to try to make ends meet, and we can.
Desperate for food, nowhere to go, Grant and many others got to the Hope Line today just to make an appointment to come back later in the week for food. Resources are slim, leaving 40% of Bronxites without money to feed themselves. Some still in shock.
We've heard things before, but it's like, they're not going to let people starve. That's ridiculous, but it's like, no, that's literally like what's happening.
We hope the food pantries maintain open, because if they don't stay open, I really don't know what we're going to do next.
We asked people their reaction to hearing that the Trump administration will partially fund the SNAP program. People say it's not going to do much. They have families to feed and already struggled at the end of every month when they were receiving the full amount.
Wow, not enough. At least it's something to hold on, but I think everybody's going to have to get a second job.
It doesn't really last the whole month. Probably like 2 or 3 weeks, and then like last week you got to scramble to find, things.
This couple has 4 kids. The mom says pantries aren't always reliable.
They have limited supply, or by the time we get to the front of the line, then it's really nothing there. So it's hard.
She says she's holding on to faith. Meanwhile, others are worried hunger will drive crime rates up. We don't know how much money will be reloaded onto people's cards and when that will be.
All right. First and foremost, before I get started with this lesson, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach. Next, double honors to the apostles, the elders, and bishops of Great Millstone that rule well and have taught me the truth, peace, and salutations unto the hopeful elect. And it's your brother Debar Kabash coming back at you with a real quick lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Alright, and I want to do this lesson here because there may be brothers, and sisters out there that, may be on, so-called SNAP benefits, and things like that. We can't forget about, these individuals either. All I can say is have faith, man, right, and patience. You see that? You got to have patience in these times, man. Now, of course, we're praying for the downfall of this place. The real prophets are anyway. This is why things are getting worse. We see that by the day. But of course, we have to, exercise patience, man. You see that? And wait on the Lord. You see, because as you see people, they're getting things taken away from them. SNAP benefits, WIC. What's the other one? Damn it. Let me see. You got SNAP, and you got WIC, and then there's I don't know. I guess food stamps. I don't know, but me personally, I don't get public assistance. I've always been taught to work. I've had to work, until my feet started bleeding, man. So I don't know anything about public assistance, but there are people that are out there, man, they may use, have to depend on, SNAP and all of that. People are bugging out in these times, man. But we have to wait on the Lord, man. I don't know who this lesson is for, but Yahweh Ratazah, somebody will find this lesson here edifying, man. You got a lot of people out there, doing lessons, telling you, wait on the Lord, just wait, right? But they're not coming in the spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, man. And these are the same people that's listening to these people, as being led astray. But we're here to tell you the truth. See that? This woman here, she's howling for vexation of spirit. Scripture talk about that, man. You know, they do. You know? So, you know, like I say, you know, just want to do something real quick through the spirit power of Yahweh Shema Shai. You brothers and you sisters out there, man, have patience, man, and wait on the Lord. Because people are crashing out. See that? This woman here, she's doing just that. I just did a video talking about hair. All right, and look at her hair. Look at it. You got some scriptures here. Now, this is the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 19. It reads, "In your patience possess ye your souls." You see that? So, you gotta have patience. You see? Scriptures tell you what? That the servants of the Lord are going to eat anyway. You know? You brothers and you sisters out there that's listening to this video and you ain't felt nothing yet as far as this economy crashing, prepare yourself for it, man. Brace for impact. See that? Because it is happening. You know? So you got to have patience out here in these times. The Lord is going to give you everything that you need. You sisters out there that, you know, need men, you know, of the Lord, have patience. He'll provide it for you. You brothers out there that's, you know, sick, and sisters that's sick and dealing with ailments, have patience. The Lord will heal you, man. You know, He will. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 20, verse 32, and it reads, "Necessarily, patience in seeking the Lord is better than he that leadeth his life without a guide." You see that? So you gotta have patience. You see that? And you must seek the Lord. You see? You better seek the Lord and again have patience. You see? I'm telling you, it's get ready to get bad out here, man. You see this guy's hands? You see that? And all he got is a piece of bread. It's getting ready to be like that out here, man. Literally. You can have Jake out there, right, trying to drink water. You see that? Out of whatever they can find, man. You can have people out there, see that, scrambling for a mayonnaise packet. Watch what I tell you, man. But you better have patience.
I'm trying to see if I can get some food. It's really bad.
Danielle Grant is starving.
You know, I'm trying to see if I can get some food. Because
I'm going to say this here. You know what? I'm going to keep going.
we don't have anything to eat today or tomorrow. So we're going to try to make ends meet and we can.
Desperate for food, nowhere to go. Grant and many others got to the Hope Line today just to make an appointment to come back later in the week for food. Resources are slim, leaving 40% of Bronxites without money to feed themselves. Some still in shock.
We heard things before, but it's like, that's not, they're not going to let people starve. That's ridiculous, you know, but it's like, no, that's literally like what's happening.
We hope the food pantries maintain open, because if they don't stay open, I really don't know what we're going to do next.
We asked people their reaction to hearing that the Trump administration will partially fund the SNAP program. People say it's not going to do much. They have families to feed and already struggled at the end of every...
And this is why we shouldn't depend on man. We should trust in the Lord. Scriptures talk about it. Have patience in the Lord, man. You know, you better wait on the Lord. Let's read this here. Romans chapter 5, verse 3. And it reads, "And not only so," jump straight to the point, "but we glory in tribulations also." You see that? You better give glory to the Lord. You see, in your tribulation. "Knowing that tribulation worketh" what? "Worketh patience." You see, so when you catching hell out here and you don't know what to do, right? When you go through tribulations, if you have patience, right? Most of the time, the Lord comes through anyway. Now, if it's not meant for that thing to happen, it's not going to happen. Right? But sometimes if you just sit back and just wait on the Lord, it's going to happen for you anyhow. Alright? See, this video here is not for you scoffers and bug outs, you individuals that like entertainment. This is for you brothers and you sisters out there, man. Right? You better have patience in these times. Jake may go days, weeks without eating. You better wait. You know? A good movie to watch is called it's a movie on I think it's on what's the name of that damn it's called The Platform. You know, and it's on I want to say Netflix. You know, and people had to wait on food, but a lot of people became carnal, man. You know, sometimes you just gotta sit back and wait. This is the book of Psalm chapter 62, right, verse 5, and it reads, "My soul, wait thou upon the Most High Yahweh, for my expectation is from Him." You see, so you gotta wait, man. You know, gotta wait. You know, perfect example is so I'm actually out of work. I've been out of work now for about 2 weeks, going on 3. And I had some surgery done to my foot. You know, Jake needed it. And you know, the doctors told me, like, hey, look, you have to wait. Because if you don't wait and you go put your foot back into a steel toe shoe, you know, you could actually, you know, injure, you know, the bone that we just cut into. You know, and you could be back in here, you know, with more injuries. You know, so sometimes, brothers and sisters, you gotta wait, man. Everything gonna happen, you know. Now, scriptures talk about how we hastening unto the day of the Lord. Yes, it does. You know, I can't wait to get the hell out of here. You know, but sometimes, man, right? Like I've been saying repeatedly, you gotta wait on the Lord. Just got another scripture here. Shalakia. Let's grab this is the book, right, of Psalm chapter 27 verse 14. It reads, "Wait on the Lord." What the hell does that mean? It says, "Wait on the Lord, be of good courage, and He shall strengthen thine heart," right? Which goes into your what? Your mind, your la'ab. You see? Wait, I say, on the Lord. You see that? Which goes into what? Patience. You know? See if I can read another one here. I'm not going to, you know, keep this lesson too much longer. This is the book of Psalm chapter 37 verse 7. It reads, "Rest in the Lord." And what? And do what? And wait patiently for Him. You see that? The Lord's going to provide everything that you need, man, if you trust in Him. You see that? If you trust in the names of Yahweh, Bahashib, Yahweh Shai, right, and put your trust in, you know, everything. You completely trust in the Lord, right, and wait patiently for Him, right, you are going to receive rest. You see, and that ultimate rest is going to come in the kingdom of heaven. Continuing on, I'm going to read it again, right? Psalm chapter 37 verse 7, it reads, "Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for Him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his ways." You see that? So don't worry about. Anyway, let's keep going. "Because of man who bringeth wickedness devices to pass." You see, so don't worry about, right, what's happening and what's going on right here, right now, man. Right? We all see it. We all see people losing food stamps. You know, we all see, you know, the so-called white man writing, you know, unrighteous decrees, you know, locking people up, you know, racial profile. We see this, man. You see that? But guess what? It says, wait patiently on the Lord, man. You see? Like I say, you know, I pray this lesson is edifying to somebody. Right? Isaiah 40 and 31. I love the scripture. And it reads, "But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength." You see that? And this is why we're telling our people out there, man, right, to wait on the Lord. You see? Just wait. Don't worry about, them, these SNAP benefits out there, man. This is why prayer is very important. You see, it's very, very important, man. People are losing it behind closed doors. They are. All right? So the point is, wait upon the Lord. This is the book, right, of Isaiah 40 and 31. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount with eagles. It's like it shall mount with wings as eagles. You see, this is going into what? Spiritual power, man. You're going to have men out there in time to come, right, that's going to be able to fly. Scriptures talk about it, how people teleported, men of the Lord. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not be faint. You see, so the point is, right, we must wait on the Lord. I don't know what the hell is going on here. Shalakia. Which means excuse me. You gotta wait on the Lord. Have patience. He's gonna provide everything that you need. You see? Those that truly trust in the names of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. In the scriptures. You see? So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video right here, Israel. Until the next time I say Shalom. You better wait and have patience in these times.